Since 2008, we've witnessed the boom of the superhero film industry. Iron Man 1 paved the way for Marvel to become the film juggernaut it is today. But as someone who followed the superhero film genre before it was cool, I'm probably not the first to tell you that the genre had to endure massive growing pains. For every Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, we had 5 Ben Affleck Daredevils. However, it seems that we're fairly deep into what people have been calling superhero fatigue. After multiple poorly received Marvel projects and what feels like a decade of lackluster DC films, I think the general population is ready for the next wave. And luckily, it's already on the way. I, for one, welcome. Guys, when you're not being treated right, it's okay to let go. I have no hate in my heart for Marvel. I'm an avid comic book fan, but that doesn't mean I don't expect more from my films. One of the biggest issues right now is a lack of respect for the source material.
I was not very steeped in the comics.
I didn't read any comics or do any research. Yeah, candidly, we were not enormous comic fans.
I wasn't super into superhero comics when I was a kid. I read a lot of indie press stuff.
First thing I was told is don't read the comics.
Did you ever read you've never read the comics?
Look, I don't care how many awards you've won. If you've got no respect for the art, then more often than not, the end result will reflect your relationship with the media. An artist without love for his craft is a con artist. And much like in the fighting world, a young prospect has arrived at the door with big dreams of defeating the old veteran and taking Marvel's title as the king of the movie industry. Enter? Now I know what you're thinking. Alex, video game movies have already existed for years. Yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna get to it. Of course, video game movies aren't a new concept. Some of the most atrocious pieces of cinema have been none other than the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, and many more. Most video game movies can't crack above 50% on a good day. But why is that? Could it be conceptual? No, these are some of the most groundbreaking pieces of fiction to ever exist. Could it be a technological problem? No, we have the CGI and limitless resources to dump into any of these projects to make sure they at least look good. Or could it be that the producers have no... Video games are still a niche, whether we like to admit it or not. Our art form is just not the most accessible, especially for old people. What it does exceptionally well, though, is create emotional attachment through first-hand experience. A movie gives you a 3-hour glimpse, a window into another world, while a game immerses you for upwards of 10 hours sometimes. It's for this reason that I believe what makes gamers so fucking crazy. This is also something that the comic book community has in common, and that rabid passion could propel the genre into the mainstream in ways previously unseen. Let's look at the original Super Mario Bros. Movie. We've got a live-action clown show that the star actor thoughtfully described as,
"It was a fucking nightmare. The whole experience was a nightmare. It had a husband and wife team directing, whose arrogance had been mistaken for talent. After so many weeks, their own agent told them to get off the set. Fucking nightmare. Fucking idiots."
The film was directed by 2 hacks who set the film in a dark, post-apocalyptic interpretation of the Mushroom Kingdom. Now let me ask you, which part of this did you get this from?
No, get away from my baby! Get away from my baby!
What is this place?
I know, we're all trying to be nicer people, but guys, look, it's okay to tell someone when they have a shitty idea. While the dark post-apocalyptic Mushroom Kingdom didn't exactly resonate with audiences, it didn't stop the film industry from doing what it does best, which is repeating the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider, Doom, Resident Evil, Silent Hill. For the most part, every video game movie pre-2018 relied on 2 things. 1, a big-name actor to draw on the audience. 2, cheesy over-the-top fan service to distract viewers from the fact that they paid money to watch this movie. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? It comes down to a lack of substance. Most older video game movies lack a strong story and overall effort in areas that are deeper than surface level. Despite its history, I firmly believe that we're about to turn a corner because everyone deserves a shot at... Negativity is a poison, but drinking poison can be fun sometimes, in moderation. Look, we could sit here all day and talk shit about video game movies because frankly, most of them deserve it. But genuinely, there is hope. Until recently, we didn't have a messiah, a proof of concept that showed investors that there's a market for faithful video game movies. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Ugly Sonic died for our sins. The onslaught of cyberbullying from fans on this abomination forced Paramount Pictures' hand into completely reanimating the Sonic the Hedgehog movie into a version that looks so much more faithful to the games. Say what you will about the movie, as a non-Sonic fan, I fucking loved it. It was playful and fun, and if I caught it during my childhood, it would have turned me into a Sonic fan. No doubt. But uh-oh. What's that sound? It's Nintendo.
ソニック・ザ・ヘッジホッグは現在世界で最も有名なビデオゲームのキャラクターですか？これは耐えられません。我々は報復しなければならない。
Nintendo's green light on the new Super Mario Bros. Movie had people nervous, rightfully so. the internet exploded at the prospect of Chris Pratt playing Mario.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
A decision I'm still not entirely sold on, but ultimately it didn't matter because it had so much else going for it. The movie was beautifully animated. It captured the fun and playful essence that fans expect from Mario. The story wasn't revolutionary, but it was faithful to what makes a good Mario game, which is a fun, lighthearted adventure that the whole family can enjoy. That's why I believe it succeeded. The hard work of everyone involved and direction that truly understood what makes this franchise popular.
This reminds me of being in my friend's mom's basement, hearing his parents argue from upstairs.
The definition of a watershed moment is an idiom that refers to an important event that changes the direction of history. Many people believe that Iron Man was the turning point for the age of Marvel movies, and I agree. The stark changes we saw in the films that followed absolutely blow everything else out of the water that came before it. I believe video game movies are still waiting for their watershed moment. We haven't had our Iron Man yet. Yes, we've had some great video game movies, but until now, we have yet to experience something that will define the genre for the next decade. The Last of Us show had a couple bangers, but didn't hit the way I needed it to. The animated video game movies allow for the level of expression that video games strongly benefit from, but much like Spider-Verse, are typically not taken seriously because, to quote my friend Sammy, cartoons are for stupid little baby idiot children. Despite that, I have hope for a few upcoming projects. It could be the Fallout series or the Legend of Zelda movie that's coming out, or neither. But the point is, it's coming. I genuinely believe that in the near future, the success of one of these projects will shape a new film meta to rival that of the comic book universe. With the trail of failed projects in its wake, there's nowhere else to go but up. They just need the right people behind these future projects. And this is where Disney is currently missing the point. We've already seen what they're capable of making, and the average moviegoer won't tolerate half-assed projects anymore. It's easy to become lazy when you reach a certain level of success. The best works of art and science are born from intense competition. Ironically, in the pursuit of easy cash, Marvel is pumping out products that are disenfranchising the people that push superhero movies into the mainstream in the first place. This cycle of projects is weak and leaving a gap of viewers hungry for something different, a gap that video game media can infinitely fill. And it's for that reason that I believe there's a bright future ahead for